The Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma. Love to be spoiled. So don't forget to spoil Mum this Mother's Day with the huge range of big brand fragrances at the lowest prices at Chemist Warehouse. Shop in store or online now.
Hey guys, podcast
Hello.
on. Podcast on.
I found it so freaking hard to get up this morning.
Why?
I swear because the weather's getting colder, I just get so much more snuggly in bed and I don't want to get up.
I'm hard when I get up too. It's a morning.
It's a morning wood. Like every day, by the way.
Meg finds it so intriguing, the
Yeah.
random bonus situation that blokes get.
But it's like, so, Enz had one the other day as well and I was like, geez.
Yeah,
like,
it just happens.
It's just
Whoa,
there.
it's huge.
It is. And it's just there, but it doesn't go down either.
No, sometimes, well, there's one way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like we're already up and like starting the day. We're like, come on, what are we doing this Saturday?
Yeah,
You know
the
what I
kids
mean?
are everywhere.
Or not even when you've got kids. Like I'm sure Meg's got plans
Yeah,
already
she's
in
got
her mind
plans.
that she hasn't explained to you verbally. But she's like, no, we've got things to do.
Sometimes you get excited, you know what I mean, but sitting in the car. Sometimes it's just the motion of the ocean, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just the seatbelt sitting across.
What is the most random way that you got a boner?
It used to happen. It used to happen at school all the time.
Yeah.
Tuck it under the school belt.
Yeah. The tuck up, I heard.
Yeah,
is
tuck up under the school
Yes,
belt. Yeah,
yeah.
very clever. So that's
Yeah.
why we wore belts.
to hold it in.
Just unplanned,
to cage
mate.
the beast.
And you to cage the beast. Well, you think you grow out of it. You don't. I'm 32 years old and I haven't grown out of it.
Have you ever given someone a hug while having an accidental boner?
Yeah, and you do kind of like that.
Do you stick your bottom? You stick your bottom out.
Just the top half hug. You know what I mean?
Has anyone ever felt it? Do you think?
Well, my wife.
No, I mean like when you try to like lean away, if they ever come too close.
Oh, yeah.
The randoms, and they'd be like, "Whoop, there's a tent pole."
Are we limboing, are we?
I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with that stuff at all.
I know.
Like, you know,
Well, you have to deal. There's some pretty shit stuff that chicks have to deal with.
that's true. It's not as embarrassing. I feel like dudes deal with embarrassing things.
Yeah, ours is
Whereas
more
like chicks are just, it's
obvious.
constant for
Yeah,
us. It's like,
true.
if we're not getting our period, we're having babies. If we're not having babies, we're going through perimenopause. If we're not going through perimenopause, we're going through, like, it's constant hormonal
Ours
shit.
is just physical. Look at that. That looks silly.
Yeah.
Got
Look
it.
how small it is. Oh my God, he's got a boner.
Oh my God, this is my school all over again. All right, enjoy the podcast. There's some good stuff on it. None of this stuff. Massive round of applause for our current, still, and sane Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese.
Oh, we love Albo.
Well done,
Friend of the
Albo.
show.
Big weekend of politics. Albo, he's back as PM. Labor won in a landslide victory. One of the biggest victories in Australian Parliament's history. Won enough seats for a majority government. He's locked in for another term, guys. Albo is back in. I believe that you, myself, and Jim were instrumental in getting Albo over the
We
line.
absolutely were.
And the reason we were instrumental is because we got the Tiger King himself, Joe Exotic. 22 years he's currently serving in jail, and we got him on the air, and he endorsed Albo. If you missed it, have a listen.
Everybody, this is Joe Exotic, and I want you to vote for Anthony Albanese to be Prime Minister of Australia.
Yep, and because of that, he's been posting all these AI photos of him and
Yes.
Albo. People have been questioning him at the National Press Club.
Yeah, and I even had friends of mine that text me being like, did Albo pay
Yeah.
Joe Exotic to say that?
No.
No.
We paid him. So I think, yes, we played a large role in getting Albo over the line. We've reached out to him.
Yes, and then you said we did it, Joe.
Yeah.
Like you DM'd him.
I DM'd him with a photo of, I think News.com put up a picture of like Albo with his arms in the air after they announced that he won in a landslide.
Yeah.
I screenshot that, sent that to Joe Exotic off the Jimmy Nath Show with Emma Instagram
Yeah.
account and just said, we did it, Joe. And he shared that on his Instagram.
Wild.
It's
I mean,
just
who would have
wild.
thunk it just from like an unhinged interview?
If you missed it, other big news, of course, the coalition lost by a landslide. Peter Dutton actually lost his seat.
Yeah.
24
years he held that seat.
The seat of Dixon, he's been holding it since 2001, which is massive. Also, how about this? One of the most interesting things that I saw over the weekend was Albo, of course, when he had the victory, he had a victory speech, as they always do, in front of his supporters. And during the speech, he talks about when he called Peter Dutton. And when he did that, everyone started booing, like, boo Dutton. And good on Albo, because he reprimanded the crowd. He went like full dad PM mode. Have a listen to this.
A short time ago, I spoke with Peter Dutton, who has, of course, conceded defeat. And I thanked him. No. What we do in Australia is we treat people with respect.
Good on you, Albo.
I love Albo.
It sounded like a school teacher. It sounded like Nathan, or Roy they used to call me. Roy, no. Like it felt like I felt I was in trouble. I wasn't even there.
But that just goes to show what kind of a guy is leading our country. Like he is honest and he's human and he cares.
Exactly.
Even when his opponent goes down, he's not rubbing it in their face.
Now, this has gone everywhere. This has gone everywhere of Albo getting into the crowd, right? So I want to ask the question now on 131060. Did a famous person tell you off? did a famous person tell you off? Mate, it could have been a footy player, could have been a TV star, a movie star, whatever it was. Maybe you're doing something silly, asking for a selfie, and they said, no, we don't do that in Australia.
Not today.
No, not today. 131060, did a famous person tell you off? I remember I went to a recording of the Bad Friends podcast at the ICC last year. And if you don't know the Bad Friends podcast, Anthony Santino, Bobby Lee, massive podcast. And we went to watch them, and it was packed out, the ICC, like 10,000 people, and a mate of mine who I was sitting with yelled something out halfway through.
Like to heckle?
Yeah, like a heckle,
Yeah.
like trying to be funny. I mean, we kind of told him to do it. But he yelled it halfway through, and then Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino stopped the podcast and said, who the hell yelled that out? And almost tried to kick him out.
Whoa.
Tried to kick him out of the podcast, like straight away, reprimanded.
Yeah.
No, we don't. I feel like this wouldn't have happened to you because you're too goody two-shoe.
I have been told off in an interview one time. It was actually with Osher Ginsberg.
Oh, Osh.
Yeah,
Osh
yeah.
Kosh Bagosh.
So I was just like trying to clear up the rumour mill for The Bachelor because it was like just kicking off, and obviously like Daily Mail has lots of juice. So I had asked the question, and he was like, he fully did the dad mode on me. He's like, you're better than that.
Ooh.
We've done so many interviews. Yeah.
Told off by Osher.
Yeah. And I was like, mate, I'm just reporting on what's being reported on.
Poor little
I
Em.
didn't make up the rumour.
Now I'm upset. I want to protect my little Emma.
Well, suffice it to say, never interviewed Osher again.
Now, there's something I want to play on the air, which has actually never made it to the air before, right? Because I don't know if you remember this, Em, but you, myself, and Jim, after the Australian Open, the tennis at the start of the year, we wanted to get an Australian Open player on, or a commentator on, and we got Jelena Dokic on the show.
Ex-player.
No, she's an
current
ex-player.
commentator.
She was a superstar player. She
Yeah.
was unreal, and we wanted to get her because she commentated the Grand Slam final.
Yeah.
And we were told that we could ask questions about the tennis.
Yeah.
Turns out, Jelena had a different idea, and we got pretty told off by her live on the air. This has not made it to the air before, right? So have a listen. It's so awkward. I actually haven't heard it back, right? So have a listen to us being told off live on air. This has never made it to air before until now. Sinner did he win it too easily, Jelena?
Is this what we're talking about?
I mean, I asked it, so yeah.
Well, I don't think it will be.
Okay. All right. Well, just hung up. Oh, it's so awkward.
I don't think we will be.
It hangs up. We were asking about the tennis.
You literally commentated the Australian Open the night before. She was
up.
plugging her book and the doco was on TV.
That's the first time that's made it to air, by the way. Told off. Imagine live. And the three of us, we're looking at each other going, what the hell's going on?
You just shit yourself. Because most of the time, like if someone's kind of chastising you, they're having a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
That was not a joke.
Is this what we're talking about? Bang, click, hang up. See you later. It's just uncomfortable. Von. Hello, Von.
How are you?
We're good, Von. Have you been told off by a famous person?
It was actually my sister. So we were at the MTV Music Awards and Russell Crowe was presenting an award and it was dead quiet and she was yelling out, "Give me the phone, Russell. We love you, Russell. Put down the phone, Russell."
Oh, because of the hotel incident.
Yeah, and he pointed at her and said, "Shut up."
Oh!
And then went back to
The gladiator! Not happy with that!
It was dead quiet too.
Oh!
That's hilarious.
And what happened? So did you ever it just went quiet again and did your sister keep going? I'd imagine she's...
can I say she quietly pooped?
Yeah, you can say she shit herself. Yeah, I would have shat myself if bloody
Basically,
Rusty.
her ass fell out.
Her ass, she
fell
shat
out.
herself. That's what she... Gladiator. Imagine Rusty.
He would be
yelling out.
terrifying.
Mate, he's an intimidating
boy.
bloke.
Yeah, because he's just thrown the phone and it was all that business and she thought she'll heckle him. And he pointed dead in the eyes and said, "Shut up."
I love the balls of your sister to do that front row. Like, what did she expect?
Maximus, you don't want to mess. You don't want to mess. Jesus. Oh, that's far out. I thought your later doggage was bad. Hi, Gisette.
Guys, how are we?
Good. Did a famous person go off at you?
Yeah, Mike Whitney, the old host of Getaway.
Oh,
Yes.
what happened?
He's in a band now, Aussie Icons, and they play at local gigs around. And one night they were playing, and I had had a drinks and started taking photos of him playing, and I got a bit in his face, and all of a sudden he turned around and he says, "Get the F out of my face." And I've seen him afterwards, and he still doesn't like me.
Oh, even he remembers you. Like, you were that annoying that he remembers.
Yes, definitely. I've seen him at a couple of gigs, but yeah.
It would have been much more polite if he just simply said, "Get away."
Yeah,
exactly. As the host of the show, you know what I mean? Much nicer to just say, "Get away," you know, and then the theme music plays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, Gisette, do you still, I mean, you know, I'm assuming you don't, I mean, he's not on the show anymore, so do you watch Getaway still? Or?
No, I remember watching it when I was a kid, but now he's moved on to the musical and,
Jules Lund, much more polite. Jules Lund, very polite.
Yes.
Hosting
Lovely
Getaway,
guy.
fine. Wow, Mike Whitney, get the F away. Sarah, did a famous person tell you off?
Indeed, Paul Hogan wasn't happy with me at all.
Stop it.
Paul Hogan, what did you do?
He said, "You don't belong here, get the F out." So I found myself at a VIP screening of Kenny.
Yeah.
And when it had finished, I kind of wandered, I was with my mum and I was wandering through where we were, the establishment that was being screened at.
Yeah.
And I found this lovely lounge and I thought, I'm going to go and sit down there. So I sat down with my mum.
Yeah.
Paul Hogan was the first person to walk in and he's just pointed at me. And let's face it, I look pretty Westy when I'm dressed up in the city. So he looked straight at me and pointed and just goes, "You get out, you don't effing belong here." And Shane Jacobs walked in at the same time and goes, no, it's all right, let her have a few photos. And then I left.
Oh my God, he's so rude.
So Shane Jacobs jumped to your defence.
He saved me.
Who
He
was
lovely.
Kenny? So Kenny came in and saved you, but Paul Hogan, it turns out, he's a...
Paul Hogan's a cranky old prune as far as I'm concerned.
Cranky old prune.
It's not even like you sat right next to him and squished him. He literally walked in, clocked you and said, "Get the F out."
Yeah, maybe he thought you were from the ATO or something. Who knows? Well done to over 60,000 fans who attended Kudos Bank Arena Friday, Saturday and Sunday to see this lady absolutely dominate. Gracie Abrams. 3 sold-out shows, Kudos Bank Arena. She's only 25 years old. Last time she came here was only last year, 2024. She did Horden Pavilion to 11,000, which is still amazing.
That is wild that she's gone from the Horden to 3 sold-out Kudos Bank Arena shows.
Insane.
She was incredible. I went on Saturday night.
Yes.
And the crowd, I got to say, did you go to Tay-Tay when she was here?
I remember Taylor, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So Taylor, like every single person in the crowd knew every single word to every single song.
Yeah.
The Gracie fans are the same. They are die-hard, like, lyricists, and they all were in their bows and their, like, flowy white
This is the thing
skirts.
that so I went out yesterday. Me and Shawnee B, who's on after us here on Today 104.1, we went out yesterday to interview a lot of people, which you're about to hear very soon, right? But the bows, we walked in and I didn't realise the bows was such a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought everyone was like dressing up as like Madeline or something like that. I was like, why are there so many bows? So this is her thing. They all have
This
a
is her
thing,
thing,
don't
yeah.
they?
And so when she wears, a lot of the clothes that she wears has a bow on it as well. I think she used to wear more bows when her hair was long.
Yeah.
But the bows are definitely a Gracie thing.
I just couldn't believe how many, like, there were so many were there. It was a school night as well. So I reckon there was so many girls that I reckon some of them, how about this? I was reading this morning, some of them camped out for 83 hours.
Wow.
83 hours so they could get a front row seat
You
to
know
see
why,
Gracie.
though? Because in the front row, she goes down and she will, like, grab phones out of her fans' hands and film herself singing live on stage. Can you imagine having that footage?
The fandom.
If you're like the biggest Gracie fan in the world, like you could die now.
Well, this is the thing. Speaking of the biggest, I almost said the greasiest Gracie fans, the biggest Gracie fans out there, right? So I went around and I was like, okay, if I tell everyone I'm from the radio, which I am, and I told them I have the potential to bring out Gracie Abrams, might have told a Perky Pie, right? But I told people, I was like, what is the grossest thing you would do if I could get Gracie Abrams to come and meet you, aka Gracie Abrams, right? So I went around yesterday to all these fans. You imagine with their bows and everything, and I asked these girls what the grossest thing they would do if they could meet Gracie Abrams, and this is what I got. What's the grossest thing you'd do to meet Gracie Abrams?
Wear those like fugly toe shoes that have like the image.
I hate those. They're gross. What's wrong with you?
I would eat my dinner off the floor of the boys' toilets.
Oh, boys are gross.
Oh, and I would let someone floss my teeth with their hair.
Like strangers' hair.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
I feel like I'd eat a maggot.
Probably eat my friend Bridget's shit.
You'd eat her shit.
Maybe. Maybe.
Do you need to go?
No. Oh God, I'd let her fart in a jar and rate it out of 10.
So give us an example of what's like.
What it would smell like?
Yeah.
Like rate it?
Yeah.
If she farted in a jar, like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Right, what is the grossest thing you'd do if I could say you could meet Gracie Abrams right now?
I'd probably lick the floor.
Lick the floor?
Yeah.
This floor?
Any floor.
Okay, go ahead. She's here.
No.
Honestly, probably let a stranger spit in my mouth. Yeah.
What is the grossest thing you would do if I could get you to meet Gracie Abrams right now?
I would.
Say it.
I would suck Donald Trump's.
Trending now with Emma Chow.
Blake Lively has broken her silence on the Justin Baldoni drama. Have a listen to her explain to Seth Meyers.
This year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life, and I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences, and fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent, and it's the women who have had the ability to use their voice that's kept me strong and helped me in my belief and my fight for the world to be safer for women and girls. It's a pretty simple thing.
So this is really interesting to me, Em, because there's all these things saying that there is a gag, like there's a gag order, so they can't talk about it. Yet they are, and they're posting all about it. And now she's come out and that's the first public interview that she's done about it. So I want to know what kind of gag order it is, because I feel like a lot of it has already been aired, and now she's literally doing interviews on it.
Yeah, and the trial is not until March next year.
So there's so much time.
Yeah, and also, we talked about this before. It's overshadowing the reason why she's speaking out in the first place. All this drama. Justin Baldoni did his 200-page website with all of his evidence there. It just seems like not the right way to go about it if you're fighting for justice for women and girls.
Exactly, just constantly dragging it out and saying things, saying things like that, which I fundamentally agree with, but then your actions don't match what you're preaching, which is the disappointing part.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And finally, everyone is talking about Gigi Hadid because she's gone Instagram official with Bradley Cooper.
I like this. Hey,
finally.
Hot couple alert,
guys. Oh, my God,
hottest
couple alert. They've been dating for a year and a half, but only just made it official. So it was from her 30th birthday photos. Yeah. It was like family, friends, and then one of the middle slides is her pashing him. So
remember when I was in Aspen over Christmas, and I saw both Hadid girls walking together.
Yes.
Gigi and Bella, and they are so beautiful that they look AI generated.
Do they?
Like it looks like you'd like put a hand through them and go vroom, vroom, like they're not real.
They're not real.
Like,
they're just a hologram.
And now Bradley Cooper, who I think's super sexy,
he's so hot.
Even in The Hangover, when he's hungover and dishevelled, he's like sexy.
But he's even hotter hungover in some way. Like who in the world is hotter when they're hungover?
I know.
Only Bradley Cooper.
So it's going to be a hot couple alert.
Yeah.
So I just hope love wins them.
Imagine if they make babies.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
I want to be there. What? No?
Same.
Well, speaking of relationships, up next, Em, staying with somebody when you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, Nathan, Cause He Lives is hitting people very hard, including people in relationships.
Yes.
New research has come out saying nearly 1 in 4 people say that they're stuck in a relationship they cannot afford to leave because it's going to be too expensive if they're single.
Because because we were talking about being single and trying to buy a house, and it's virtually impossible when you're not on a dual income. So dating, I guess, would be the same.
Yeah, so think about it. Like when you're living with someone, you're like splitting everything.
Straight down the middle.
Everything is 50-50. It's rent, it's utilities, it's groceries, it's everything. And it's become more of a financial strategy than a romantic one to stay together.
Yeah, it's clever. It's like a partnership.
Right.
You know, like a joint financial partnership.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's really sad, actually.
I'm only with my wife for all the money. You know, that digital marketing money, baby. Let me tell you, paid for that Mazda outright. All right, let's go with 131060. Jump on the phones. Why didn't you break up, right? Those like little silly reasons where you're like, I knew the relationship was over, but we stayed together because I was getting something out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you gain? What were you gaining from that shitty relationship that made you stay just a little bit longer?
One of my exes had a house in Fiji. Their family had a house in
Stop.
Fiji. So
Oh my God, never break up.
Even though I knew I haven't. My wife doesn't know. And every September I'm like, bulla bulla. Emma from Erskine Park. Emma, welcome to the show. Hi.
How you going?
Sorry, the team outside is laughing at bulla bulla. That's hello, guys. Emma, why didn't you break up?
To be completely honest with you, he had a car and I did not.
That's good. Personal
I had a chauffeur.
Personal chauffeur,
You don't want to go back to public transport. You don't have to schlep it if you can be driven around.
So, Em, could you...
Well, I don't want to walk around and roll my shoes.
No, of course. So, Emma, could you drive or would your partner drive you around as well, or would you just use the car?
I could drive, but he wouldn't let me because it was his baby, so he was my chauffeur.
Yeah, right. So how long do you reckon you stayed together, even though you knew it was done, for the utilisation of the car?
Probably about 6 months or so.
6 months. I mean, did you hate his guts, or were you like, I can deal with you just for the sake of the car?
I didn't hate him. I just didn't see a future anymore, and I just wasn't quite ready to not have a car yet.
Would have been a real power move is if you sat in the back. It's like,
put the partition
I wish I thought of that.
You sit in the back like an Uber. Lisa from Camden South. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how you going, guys?
We are good. Why didn't you break up? What were you still getting out of the relationship?
Weekly rent. I know it sounds bad, but we'd been together for a year before we decided to move in together, and we signed a 12-month lease.
Right.
And 6 months into it, I realised he wasn't the one for me, and so I just stuck it out for that remaining 6 months.
Okay, it sounds like this is like okay, so this is like the golden number of months. Like it sounds like girls will stick it out for at least another 6 months just to get half rent.
So did your partner know? Did he know that relationship was done and you were just staying for the rent, or did you try and keep it going?
Yeah, no, I tried to just keep it going. I tried, but I just, when you've made your mind up about something and you just sort of can't get past it. So, we didn't leave on bad terms or anything like that, but I just couldn't cope living with anymore. Living with someone's totally separate to dating them, and his habits became too annoying for me to put up with.
And girls, Nath, I don't know if you know this, but girls check out before we break up. So instead of us just deciding in the moment, we'll decide and then it'll take us 5 or 6 months to actually do the breakup.
Yeah.
And then that's why we move on so quick as well, because we've already mourned the relationship while we're still with you.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa's partner's out, but somebody else is into that same apartment
That's
the
right.
same day before he comes home. But split the rent 3
50-50?
ways. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 ways.
The Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma are off to spoil mum this Mother's Day with a huge range of big brand fragrances at the lowest prices at Chemist Warehouse. Shop in store or online now.